Well, I'm back at the CAD system, and I just thought I'd show you some of the modifications that I was made into the tender. I didn't do much to the lower pieces. As you can see, I have these little skirts that I've left on the lower half, and I've added, I always did have and left on the mounting for the fan, motor controller, um, power distribution pieces, the volt regulators, soundboard, and over here will be there's a mount there for a wire capturing device that also houses a speaker, and the openings are for the all-wheel pickup trucks, six-wheel trucks that come in. And then I had to open this front end of this extended piece for this rotating sort of a stand. I might have to elongate that, but I think it's going to work out okay. I've been looking at the tender a little bit. I've increased this notch here so it can fit snug, and it gives me a chance to add something on the front here that would include some steps, so we could add some steps that stick out from the side and come up. We can attach those, or you guys can make your own steps or whatever. I've increased the thickness of the wall. It's about 4 millimeters now. It was 2, so it's going to be stiffer. I've added the pads to mount to the frame. There you can see there is a circular piece there. There's one in every corner, and underneath it is a threaded hull, 442 threaded hull. I've added this notch. You can see there's a little set down notch, and this is where the lid would sit down to. Made it the lengths now are exactly the same and all that. I've raised the front half, the first 80 millimeters of the lid, to simulate the oil burner aspects, or we can replace that with the load of coal for the coal burner guys. But what I also have done is I've sucked out the bottom of it, so it gives me more room, because in that area I mount the volt regulators, and they're a little tall and they might need that extra room. So that's why I was kind of happy to be able to cut that in, and then just make that nose kind of a bull-nosed piece, so it's a little more rounded, and then this tilts back. And if we have coal, what I can do is I can make 2 of these. I can sink this down, get rid of this part here maybe, or leave it, I don't know, sink it down, leave a front and a back, and then just let you guys fill that in with a mound of coal as you see fit. You can do coal or oil, I don't know, extended range. But I did extend it, because it was 100 to 80 on the original, and I was actually 75, so I pushed it back 5 millimeters. That gave me a little more room to make sure I could clear everything. So I did print this lid as a test, and I thought it came out pretty darn good. And this is the original printing. This is the latest printing that's going on right now, but I wanted to show you how this came out. The bottom, as you can see, is nice and flat, and then I used some standoffs to hold the plastic up so I could print that cavity out, and it worked out really well. And then I have this setback little notch like piece there that'll set down inside the lid. When this is done, it's got another 2 hours to go. It's amazing how long this has taken. 6 hours to print. I started it at about noon, and it's now 4 o'clock, and we have 2 hours to go. So when you see a body in 3D printed, especially PETG, because it has to be done slow, recognize that while the person making it didn't stand there and watch it, his machinery was running and his plastic was pushing out, and it takes a long time, 6 hours to print one body. But I think it's going to be worth it in the end. It's going to be stiffer, stronger, it's going to fit perfectly, and I think it's going to be an absolute wonderful platform, you might think of it, or a canvas for whatever you guys want to do with your piece. Now, I do notice how I did not round this out like this one. Oh, I know why, because I just had it flat. And this one is still a little rounded, isn't it? Yeah. Well, we could talk about it. There's some things I can change and some things I can't change. I'm pretty sure I could give this a little rounded bit if we wanted it and not have that bullnose look. If that's more to your liking, I don't know. But I'm not going to try to put the detail on. I just feel you guys can print that yourselves or make it yourself out of scrap or buy it in brass. Easier and simpler, and it would be a better result than me trying to print so much detail. I'll give you the canvas. Let's leave it at that, okay? I'll give you the canvas that fits, and it's rugged and reliable and all that. And like I said, this is going to have holes in it, so it's going to bolt down. And I think it's going to be pretty doggone nice. I'm really impressed with the quality of this print that we're getting here. I mean, it is really nice. Those sides, I mean, you could, if you had a black train, you could almost just leave it. But I know for a fact you're going to have to paint it with the primer, touch it up with some sandpaper, and then paint flat black or white or black or whatever you want on it. Is going to be the best. Plus, you're going to want to do the details and make sure that's either stands out or blends in. If the ladder's going to be brass or not, and what, you go through it. Okay, so I'm just letting you know that's going on and how long this is taking. It's got 2 hours to go, and it's been printing for 4 hours. Oh, okay. I'm glad I did the lid yesterday. I knew this was going to take long, but I didn't realize when I lengthened it out that it was going to really eat into the time. But it should be good. It should be pretty close and real good. So hang in there, and I'm going to go work on the wiring some more. All right, later.